Boys, boys, hear up. Listen up. Hear up. I literally just thought of making this video and in an instant I brought out the camera, turned everything on, the lighting and whatever, just to make this video. Because I just came back from a dookie. I don't know why I need to say that. I'm sorry. Bro, I'll be honest with you. Like, I kind of feel like, not like a failure because I don't want to identify with it, but I do. I just feel like someone who's behind. Honestly, I was just thinking, like, these videos where it is off guard and it gets so many views. Like, I don't, okay, honestly, I'll be honest with you. I don't care if this video gets any views, but I just need to express this, right? For the past few weeks, I've had very hard trouble with accepting my personality, accepting the way I speak, accepting my level of knowledge. I just thought no one would listen to me. I just thought that I'm not capable of being listened to and whatever. So I have been sort of slacking when it came to content creation for the past couple of weeks, honestly, to be honest with you. But I realized, like, I accept myself, I accept the way I speak, I accept the way I act, and I'm just gonna speak from my heart. There's no plan in this video. I'll give you the entire story, the lore, okay? So pretty much what happened was my payment for university. I didn't check when it was actually due, which is a problem on my end. Okay? It's a problem on my end. So what ended up happening was I'm like, yo, I should probably check my payment. Literally like an hour ago. So I go on the university website, I go check the payment section, and literally I have to pay like my payment, right, for this semester. And I looked at the due date and it was like way past the due date. Now, I'll be honest, like, again, this is my fault. I didn't know. Like, I thought the due dates and stuff like that were around this time, November time, but I didn't realize that you're supposed to pay back in like the end of September, October 1st. So I'm like almost 2 months off. So now I'm over here stressing. I'm over here because I don't pay for university, right? I don't pay for my university. I don't pay. My dad pays. I feel like a piece of crap right now. Not only was I irresponsible to check, I should have checked earlier, but I don't know what's gonna happen. My dad's been grinding. My mom's been grinding. So over here, I was just sitting here. I was just pitying myself, and you know what? I'll be honest. I'm a lot better off than I used to be. I think a couple of months ago or a year ago, if I was in this situation, I would absolutely flame myself. And honestly, I deserve some flame. I definitely do. But honestly, I just wanted to turn on this camera, literally just to express the feeling I'm feeling right now, which is I'm feeling this need to just chase money. I've been having this issue for the past 2.5 years. Specifically, more than like 2 years, I would say. Not 2.5, 2 years. The specific need to just be desperate for money, to chase money. I actually built up a YouTube channel with 20K subscribers last year. And again, all praise be to God. All praise be to God, Allah. All praise be to God for allowing me to do that, to build the subscriber base. But then, because I was so hungry and desperate for money, when I released a product because I wanted to make money and I thought I could help people, whatever, no one bought it. I think, I sold a product for $10 and I'm grateful that two people bought it. So I made $20. And so right now, I just kind of feel like I'm in a really bad position. I'm in a position where I'm a 21-year-old. I don't have a job. And, after realizing the situation, I actually started to look for jobs. And my brain was going into the desperate mode. My brain was rushing. And maybe I think maybe I need to get a job. I'm not sure. Maybe I need to for a weekend job, like a part-time job or something. Maybe that might be good. But it was also thinking about like business models. Do we just do a different business model so I can make money? I can make money. So now I'm in this weird predicament, in this weird situation. But after reading some books that has absolutely impacted my life, the thing I learned is that when you chase results, you end up making the worst decisions of your life. You end up making short-term gains for long-term pain. Whether that's your grades, whether that's money. I know because again, I focused on making money when it came to the channel with 20K subscribers. When I was focusing on making money, I was thinking about like funnels and like different video types, if that makes sense. I started changing up the way I make content. I started changing up the way everything. And then I sold a product and it ended up falling down. Part of me wanted to do the same thing with this channel, but a bigger part of me knew the intention that I chose while making this channel. I will never chase results. The book that, with the permission of God, that's absolutely changed my life was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And in that book, the author was saying to make yourself a personal mission statement, like a personal value, like what your own values, what do you live by? And he was teaching the values as well, like in the book. And so last week or something like that, a little bit longer than last week, You know, I'm like, I decided, I'm gonna write down a full mission statement. I'm trying to open the page right now. Here we go. Mission statement. So first is focusing on the next life. For as Muslims, we believe that there's two lives, right? First is this worldly life, and then you die, and then there's afterlife when you after you die. So I said focus on that because that's the main goal. That's the real life. You know, focus on religion, do good deeds to please God. But I also said focus on primary traits. I also said, always derive the roots of any problem or scenario. Everything has a primary trait, which by byproduct is the outcome. Focus on fulfillment, focus on purpose, be proactive, take responsibility, focus on what you can control, focus on serving the world, be responsible for parents and loved ones, respect you for who you are, respect your time. Never focus on results slash outcome. These are some of the things I wrote down that I truly want to live with, my values, my personal mission. And one of them is never focus on results and outcome. And even though my body, my brain, the devil whispering in my ear, whatever is telling me, focus on results, chase money, your dad's suffering. My dad is suffering, but that I am not going to make bad decisions, go from this business model to this business model, or go from maybe I'll get a job. That's fine. A job isn't gonna like destroy my ability to still do business. But to go from this business model to this business model to this business model just because like my parents are going through stress because of me because I have university and I should have told them earlier and they're working all the time and they have their own expenses and family and people back home. And sometimes I was on the train today and I felt kind of guilty. I felt kind of guilty because I'm so privileged. I felt kind of guilty because I was walking with my friend this morning in the city and it was early in the morning and I saw like people working this like they're like bricklaying on the ground. They're putting bricks on the ground to make like a pathway, whatever. And it was a weekend. At the time, it was like 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. And I was just like, I'm so like privileged that I don't need to do that. Even on the train, I was like, I'm so privileged. I'm way too privileged that I don't have to wake up on a Saturday just to go into a job to pay my bills. For one of the first times, I told myself on the train that, yeah, you are privileged and it's a blessing from God. But that should give you more drive to go work on the right thing so you can make meaningful change and meaningful effort. That should give you more drive. And the fact that God gave you the time, the ability, I'm talking with myself, by the way. The fact that God gave me the time and ability, the lack of responsibility, because I don't have to pay for my bills. I don't have to, because God gave me this, I must focus on the right things. I should not go chase money and now because I need money I'm gonna go start an SMMA business and then I'm gonna be stuck there and I'm not gonna make money there. Okay, I'm gonna make drop shipping, this, that. No, I'm not letting myself do that anymore. I've gone 2 years of business, trying businesses, and I realized I'm meant to be a YouTuber. I told my teacher when I was 11 years old that I'm gonna be a YouTuber. When I was 11, I remember she was asking everyone, "What do you guys want to be when you're older?" A lot of people said, I forgot, like soccer player or whatever, astronaut, as young kids do, and it was good, obviously good. I said YouTuber, and at that time I was genuinely making YouTube videos at the age of 11. Yeah, boys, I don't know why I made this video. Honestly, I've been having such a hard time expressing myself and accepting me for who I am on YouTube. I sometimes come on camera, not anymore, but I sometimes come on camera and I don't like recording as much. I don't sometimes enjoy my recording because I always judge myself. I always judge myself. I don't have trust in myself or the way I speak. A part of me, and I'll talk about this later, a lot of this comes from trauma, but a part of me just wants to live in a shell. And again, I know it's trying to protect me, but we'll talk about that another day. Anyways, boys, I gotta leave. I don't know if this benefited you. I genuinely can't tell you, but I know letting this out truly benefited me. So, thank you so much for thank you so much for sticking by and watching. Expect an amazing, amazing, amazing video coming out. And yeah. I love you boys. And I'll see you on the next one. Assalamu alaikum.